Today we are diving into something that could literally change the way you do business: process automation. You know, the key to finally working smarter, not harder, by getting rid of all those little things that slow us all down. Let's get into it.
So, does this sound familiar? You're just bogged down by data entry. Maybe you're generating the same reports over and over and over again. Or you're handling just an endless stream of the same customer questions. It's that kind of busy work that, it fills your day, but it doesn't really move the needle forward. Now, when I say robot, I'm not talking about some walking, talking machine from a movie. Nope, we're talking about a software robot. Just think of process automation as hiring a digital employee whose only job is to handle all those repetitive tasks, freeing you and your team up for what humans do best.
Okay, so why even bring this robot on board in the first place? I mean, what are the real problems we're trying to solve here? Well, the answer really lies in the limits of doing everything by hand. Think about it. Manual processes are just slow. They cost more, right? In terms of pure labor hours. They're super vulnerable to simple typos and human error, which, as we know, can have huge consequences. And maybe worst of all, they are incredibly difficult to scale. You can't just decide to handle 1,000 orders as easily as you handle 10 without a massive increase in staff. It just doesn't work.
And this is exactly where automation comes in and saves the day. It directly tackles every single one of those problems we just mentioned. It speeds things up, it cuts costs, and it drastically reduces errors. It lets you scale almost effortlessly, and it can even help with compliance by creating these perfect, auditable records every single time. It is a total game changer.
So we've covered the why, but what exactly is this so-called robot? Let's get a really clear definition so we're all on the same page.
Okay, here's the core idea. And the key phrase here is minimal human intervention. See, the goal isn't to replace people. It's to take over the tedious, repetitive work so that people can focus on problem solving, creativity, strategy, the really valuable stuff that drives a business forward.
Automation isn't just one single thing. It's more like a toolkit with different tools for different jobs. So let's break down the 3 key concepts you really need to know. First up, we've got workflow automation. The easiest way to think about this is like a simple if this, then that sequence. For example, if a new customer signs up on your website, then the system automatically sends them a welcome email and creates a new record in your database. It's like setting up a chain reaction that you design once and it just runs forever on its own.
Next up, we have robotic process automation, or RPA for short. Now, these are the software bots we've been talking about. They literally mimic human actions: clicking, copying, pasting, filling out forms across a bunch of different applications. A bank, for instance, could use a bot to update a customer's address across 5 different systems, all at once, instantly, and with 0 errors.
And finally, there's business process management, or BPM. This one is the big picture. BPM isn't just about automating one little task. It's about zooming out and looking at an entire end-to-end process, like a factory's production line, and using technology to analyze it, improve it, and automate it for maximum efficiency.
All right, so you know the why and you know the what. Now for the most important part, the how. How do you actually put this stuff into practice? Well, lucky for us, there's a pretty straightforward 5-step plan.
Here's the roadmap. You start by figuring out the right tasks to automate, then you find the right tools for the job, you design the flow, you build it, and finally, and this is key, you keep an eye on it to make it even better. Let's walk through this with a real example so it all makes sense.
So let's imagine a company that's just drowning in paperwork for invoicing. Step 1 is simply recognizing that problem. They look at it and say, hey, doing all these invoices by hand is slow, and we're making a lot of mistakes. That's it. They've just found their prime candidate for automation.
For step 2, evaluating tools, you'd start looking at what's out there. For simple workflows, you might look at something like Zapier. For more complex, heavy-duty tasks, a powerful RPA tool like UiPath could be the answer. The goal is always to find the right tool for your specific problem. So our company chooses a tool. Let's say they go with QuickBooks. That's step 2, done. Then, for step 3, they design the new workflow. This means they're in there creating invoice templates that can automatically pull in all the customer details and item costs. They're literally building the blueprint for their robot.
Step 4 is implementation. And this is where the magic really happens. They integrate QuickBooks with their sales system. So now when a purchase is made, an invoice isn't just possible, it's automatically created and sent out. That whole manual step is just gone.
But you're not done yet. The crucial fifth step is to monitor and optimize. The company starts tracking how much time they're saving, what the invoice accuracy looks like. And if they spot an issue, they can just jump in and tweak the templates. It's a constant cycle of improvement.
Okay, this stuff isn't just theoretical. Once you start looking for it, you'll see that automation is already happening everywhere, in pretty much every department you can think of. Let's run through a few rapid-fire examples. In customer service, you've got chatbots handling all the simple, common questions 24/7. That means your human agents can focus their brain power on the really complex customer problems that actually require empathy and critical thinking.
Over in HR, automated onboarding makes for an amazing first impression. New employees get everything they need digitally, instantly. It creates a super smooth, efficient start to their new job without drowning them in paperwork on day one.
Sales teams are using automation to score leads, which automatically identifies which potential customers are hot and ready for a conversation. This ensures the reps are spending their valuable time on the opportunities that are most likely to actually close.
And in retail, automated inventory management is absolutely essential. It tracks stock levels in real time, which prevents that super frustrating experience we've all had of buying something online only to find out later it's actually out of stock. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful.
So, we've covered why automation matters, what it actually is, and the how-to for implementing it. The only question left is for you. In your own work, your own business, what's that one repetitive, annoying task you would just love to hand off to your new digital employee?